everyone, welcome to this episode of AnimeCons TV. I'm here with Svetlana Chimikova.
Hello.
You may remember her from the Artist Alley episode last year, or
I did that.
the interview I did in our 2009 episode when Night School was coming out. Night School. And now you've got a new book coming out.
I have a new book coming out. It's called Awkward. It's landing in stores everywhere this summer, July 25th.
Yeah. And you get a preview posted on your Tumblr.
Yes, I do. If you go to my Tumblr, svetlana.tumblr.com, you will see a preview there.
And so last weekend we went to Kraken Con in Oakland, California. And I've been to every Kraken Con, and that was the fourth one, I think? Or is it I don't know. They've had a bunch now because they do it every 6 months. But this was your first Kraken Con.
This was my first Kraken Con, yes.
And so what was your impression of the convention?
I really enjoyed it. Little known fact, I get really stressed at cons, which is why I don't go often. And I was bracing myself to be really freaked out and not enjoy it very much. But I did. I enjoyed it. It was a really nice, well spaced out event that had a lot of interesting things to offer. I found a few panels that were immediately had my interest piqued, so I picked those out and went to those.
Yeah, the first panel we went to was the Podcasting is More Than a Hobby with Willie Dills. And
that was very informative.
Yeah, I wasn't aware he lived in the San Francisco area. I'm familiar with his stuff from the Frog Pants Network, so like if you're familiar with all of Scott Johnson's series of podcasts, The Instance, which is what Willie Dills is on, and Morning Stream, and all the stuff at Nerdtacular that I gave rave reviews to last year. I mean, he's involved with that community, and so I was like, I gotta go to this panel. And it was
good. There was a lot of really good information, and even like I'm a complete newbie to podcasting. I think about thinking about starting a podcast. That's how much of a newbie I am. And he explained it all very well, and talked about his experiences from zero to where he is now, which is getting paid to do podcasting.
Yeah, we've been doing weekly episodes for over 2 years now on this podcast, and we've done over 150 episodes. And I deal with podcasts all day at my normal job at TWIT, but this still, I came away with more knowledge, and that's always a good sign for a panel. You also went to another panel.
I went to Surviving the Animation Industry with Patrick McHale, I believe. He worked on Adventure Time. That was really interesting as well. I'm a classically trained animator, and I dabble in the animation industry sometimes. It can be scary and daunting. So I was interested to hear what his experience was, and he had a lot of interesting stories to tell. And something that really struck me about sometimes at conventions you would have bad sound quality or like bad audio visual setup. That room was great. The only thing that was a little bothersome was the doors didn't close, and the main events was really close to a soundstage, I think.
Yeah, the main events, it was in an enclosed area, but it had air walls.
We could hear what was going on outside.
Yeah, and outside that there was the video game or the gaming area.
Something loud was going on. But strangely enough, like his sound was very clear, so I didn't miss a word. He was showing short films that he'd done while in school, and those were shown right on cue as soon as he'd say, and now roll this one. And I believe they were part of the convention, the gentleman in the back of the room, and they would roll the film that he asked for, so like went off without a hitch. It was really interesting.
We can talk more about the function space since we kind of got into that.
Right.
Now his panel was in the main events room, which the Kraken Cons I've gone to before, they've had one section of the convention center, and this year they expanded into the other part, and it's a larger space. And main events, they had a nice curtain in the background. It was very attractive looking, blue lights, and it was really cool. And they had screens on either side, which was good for his presentations. And during the masquerade, they had pictures of the characters up on the
Oh,
screens.
that's cool.
Yeah, and so somebody would come up. There was a Shrek costume. There was Kiki.
The Shrek costume was amazing.
And Sabine from Star Wars Rebels, and they'd have the actual character up on the screen. So even if you're not familiar with the show, you know, oh, this is who they're supposed to be.
They even had it for the Beetlejuice group.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, the Beetlejuice group. They won best. Well, spoiler alert. They won best in show. I'm gonna have the whole masquerade posted at some point soon.
They were incredible. That group was just.
Yeah. Well, we saw them in the hallway,
buried the needle.
and you had to get a picture. It's like, oh, and
yeah,
it was amazing. It was the.
I was like, I don't often take pictures of cosplayers because I'm shy and I don't want to bother them.
Then we said Beetlejuice group. They're probably picturing, oh, it's somebody dressed as Beetlejuice. No. You know the scene where they pull their faces out and he pushes his hand up through, makes like a little mohawk, and then they get the eyes on their fingers.
They're trying to scare the people.
They're trying to scare the people, and they weren't unsuccessful. That's what they dressed as, with the long faces and everything. And they had the right clothes with the blue plaid shirt. And then
they had the hunter from the waiting room.
Yeah, the headhunter with the shrunken head was also with them.
Very well done.
So good. And I had never seen anybody do those characters before, so it's so original. The rest of the function space, they probably had about as many dealers as they've had in the past. I didn't count, but they're in a larger room. And so we didn't have any trouble walking around to see everything.
Not at all. Yeah, that's another thing that frustrates me sometimes, dealers' rooms that are too crammed. This was beautifully arranged, I thought.
Yeah, and I remember last year I had some trouble getting through every now and then because it was just everybody's in that room and it was so packed. And their attendance was up, so it's not like it was easy to get through because there were fewer people. There were more people.
So very well arranged then.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Kraken Con.
Let's see, they had the artist alley and the dealers in that room, which was just outside the main events area. There was the theater in the back showing anime.
Right, yeah.
And
with the little fire going, which wasn't really a fire.
Oh, no, that was in the gaming area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the theater was in the back of the room. Remember we stopped and they were playing, what were they playing?
Another little known fact, I'm navigationally challenged, so.
I'm going to look up what they were playing because the schedule, here's the room layout.
Yeah, very helpful.
By the way, full color program guide, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, there was the gaming area here. There's a gaming stage and theater.
Yeah, I thought that's where the fire was going, no?
Yeah, it was at this tablet gaming place. I think that's where they were playing Hearthstone. Creative Corner, live demos, the theater.
Are you going to put in a graphic of the map here?
They had the cosplay zone where they had the TARDIS set up.
Oh, yeah,
and the same statues that seem to make it to every Kraken Con although every time they seem to add one, because last time they added Groot. They have Batman and the female
steampunk Groot, wasn't
Iron Man. Steampunk group sort of thing.
That was really cool.
And then there was a photo studio, which they've had at every Kraken Con, where if you're in costume, you can go and get your picture taken professionally for free.
Oh.
And then they just posted up on Kraken Con's site.
Cosplayers take note. Come to Kraken Con.
And then the Shabbat Science Center or Planetarium or something. They had
really
an
cool.
inflatable planetarium.
I really wanted
Only
to
on
check
Saturday
that out.
though.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't have time.
Yeah. Then there was the Tea Time Lounge, where you could go and the maid cafe.
I think they were singing along with some of the karaoke that was happening next.
Yeah.
In the next corner.
In the other corner, they had rock band, and so people were singing, and not everybody was great. Yeah. And even the people over at the planetarium, I caught the woman putting her fingers in her ears, trying to...
But there was a highlight while we were there, because just as we made it to that side of the room, a group of Deadpool cosplayers, of various Deadpool cosplayers, one was, I believe, was Deadpool Chef? Is that the character?
I don't know.
Deadpool Chef and Deadpool something, they started doing a session of Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Which was kind of amazing on several levels.
Yeah.
Rock band, that's right, that's what it was.
And the artist alley was in there. They had the panel rooms upstairs, and they were good-sized panel rooms. They seemed to fit everything that whenever we walked by. Some of them were more full than others. I think the Homestuck one was pretty full, and...
Oh, another thing I really appreciated was every room had panel schedule that was happening in that room outside the room, which
Yes.
was immensely helpful for me. Again, navigationally challenged. Like, oh, is this the room? And I check the panel list, and if it's not, I go to the next one.
And then we also went to the panel on Let Me Tell You About Webcomics.
That was a great panel as well. It was basically a crash course on what it takes to make a webcomic, for whether you're a newbie or someone who is experienced. I think you could take away something from it. Also very inspiring. The presenter had pulled quotes from several artists that she interviewed, and actually some of these artists I didn't know about, so I came away with some notes.
Yeah, and we only went on Saturday this year because we had other stuff to do on Sunday. But they do offer it. They had a deal with the Marriott, the hotel attached to the convention center, where if you book a night, you would get a free VIP pass to the convention.
Oh, that's nice.
And so that gets you VIP access. And
I got to see one of the rooms because a friend of mine was staying for the convention, so I got to go up there.
Yeah, they're nice rooms.
They're nice rooms with a really nice view.
Good hotel, and they're very reasonably priced. It was a little over $100, and considering that you would pay for 2 days of parking, and it's included, so 2 days of parking, the badge, travel to and from wherever you're coming from, it's worth it to get a hotel room if you can. But you can't next con. The next Kraken Con is a one-day con, and it's not at that hotel. It's on the USS Hornet. They weren't able to get the hotel, so they're having it on an aircraft carrier on September 26th. And if you register for the convention, you get full access to the USS Hornet Museum. So this is going to be quite a thing. Anime convention on an aircraft carrier. I think it's only the second time that's happened.
I thought this would be the first time. Because
you'd think.
How often
But no,
do we
there's
have
one
that?
down in Mississippi or Alabama or somewhere
okay.
down in the Gulf.
Do they have an abundance of ships? Like, how did that happen?
Well, usually what happens is the ship retires and they turn it into a museum, and then they start trying to sell off function space.
Right. That's amazing. I did not know that happened.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
So we'll definitely check this one out because it
That
seems like
should
it
be
could be
interesting.
quite a thing.
Yeah. Stay
So
tuned until
September
fall.
26th. We'll have to leave the calendar open for that.
Yeah.
And then after that, in 2016, they'll return to the Marriott. So you can probably still get that hotel deal, I hope. And it'll be back at the convention center. So back to usual. But I've praised Kraken Con in every review I've done, except for that theater in the dealer's room, which they should put it in a separate room, but they're going to keep doing it. I know. It's the
They
noise.
have their reasons. I'm
Yeah, they
sure.
want people to be able to just sit down and watch, but it's hard to watch because the noise from the dealer's room. At least it wasn't next to the rock band, so that's good. Put them on separate ends. But what did you think? Your first Kraken Con?
I really enjoyed it. I was bracing myself to be very stressed and crowded in. That's how I usually feel at conventions, and I didn't get that feeling. I really enjoyed myself. I was able to find all the panel rooms fine. Everybody was really nice. The con staff was very helpful. I did get lost a couple of times, as I do. So I just asked the con staff person, and they were very gracious and pointed me in the right direction.
And how could you tell they were on staff?
I don't remember. They must have had staff shirts. Oh, that's right. They had the hats.
They were all wearing
They were
sailors'
clearly
hats.
marked as staff members. That's
Yes.
what happened. So that was incredibly helpful too. No, just a really good vibe at that convention. I enjoyed it. Really nice people.
Yeah. Well, we got to convince more people to go.
Yes, but then it'll get crowded and I'll get
Well,
stressed.
more cool people that watch this. I mean,
Yeah.
all these
Cool
people should
come to
go.
Kraken Con. We'll
And we
hang out.
Yeah, we can hang out. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But
All the cool people go to Kraken Con. How about that?
yes, only the cool people go
Yeah.
to Kraken Con.
On the battleship. It's a date.
Yeah, that's
That's going to be amazing. That's
yeah.
gonna be very
I think there's
exciting.
some people, some of my coworkers. I think I'll get to go there just because.
Yeah, it's only one day.
And it's sort of a different experience because you can go to any convention in a convention center, but how often do you get to go to a convention on an aircraft carrier?
Never, in my experience.
And
I've never had that opportunity.
For anybody that has any sort of military cosplay, this is the perfect place to get pictures. Oh my God. Especially if it's a sailor sort of Sailor Moon on an aircraft carrier.
Any sort of like warrior type character should be dressing up and going to that convention in, is it October? When is it?
September.
Oh, September, I'm sorry. September 26th, 2015 on USS Hornet in Alameda, California.
Yeah.
Be there.
East Bay. So, yeah, and so that's what we have to say about Kraken Con. Anything else?
Oh, it was great. One warning about food. I was very surprised to find the quesadilla at the bar in the restaurant, and I'm sorry, at the hotel.
The hotel restaurant. That's where I had the worst burger of my life last time.
And I had a surprising encounter with a quesadilla, which was super spicy and had ingredients in it which were not listed. I ate it because I was really hungry, but be warned.
The chicken noodle soup was good.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I didn't get to have any of that.
I wasn't about to have that burger again. Oh.
Yeah, so I would recommend maybe bring snacks, lest you be surprised by your food.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of places to eat in the area, but as long as you're prepared for that. For dinner we walked, I don't know how many blocks. It's like
it was at least
half a mile probably, up by the Fox Theater. It was a nice diner. It was good food there.
You were asking a navigationally challenged person.
It was good food there, but it was just kind of far. There's a Burger King a few blocks away. So it's probably a Subway.
Bring a sandwich. There is a Subway that's where
can't swing a hobo without hitting a Subway. So Kraken Con. Next week I think Elizabeth is doing a cosplay help episode. I don't remember what it's going to be on. I think she was going to tackle foam.
Ooh.
So that'll be interesting. The week after that we're taking another week off because we got something going on. But then we'll be back with a rewind episode. And if you have any suggestions for what old segment you'd like to see us put out as an episode, let us know. If you have ideas for episodes, let us know. You can email us at podcast@animecons.tv or call our voicemail line at 762-ADEQUATE. That's 762-233-7828. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe, call, email.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter.